Look, we're making the new counterculture whether they want it or not. So who's going to run the non-woke answer to Newsarama or the non-autistic IGN?
Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. He's the man, the myth, the legend, the guy who's running IronAge.media, creating Anvil, the anthology.
Iron Age.
Iron Age. Who even
so-called
knows?
Iron Age. Yeah.
My next co-host, the man who will absolutely make you change. And by making you change, what I mean by that is he is going to help you change from having that story in your head to putting it on paper and putting it into people's hands. And this is the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel P. Riley of whimsyland.org.
Number one Iron Age Booty Daddy.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Royce. Welcome back to A Drink with Crazy. I am buying a goat. I love goat. We have a show this evening, or we don't, and it all stops here. That's fine. And so cometh the Iron Age of media. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Iron Age Nights. What's going on, everybody?
Hello,
I
hello,
almost
hello.
said Comic Shop Wednesday, and I was like, nope, it's not that one. And then I almost said Sunday Coffee. I was like, no, it's not that one either. Which one is this? I need to come up with a snappy one-liner intro for individual shows so I don't get confused anymore. But
Who are we kidding? You'll still
yeah,
get confused.
I would absolutely get confused. I think I introed Sunday Coffee with Comic Shop Wednesday or Iron Age Nights a few weeks back. And I was like, oh, wait, no, it's not that one. We're drinking coffee on a Sunday, huh? Anyway, hey, ladies and gentlemen, how are you guys doing this week? It is awesome. The hair is still wet. I showered after work, and my hair takes 17 and a half hours to dry. It's ridiculous. Anyway, aside from that, and me being tired. Oh, crap. I was going to have a box. I have a box. I'll go get the box later.
What's in the box?
There's some stuff in the box. But it's not here. It's upstairs. I kind of forgot the box. Hey, everybody. I am wicked tired. So I'm going to drift in and out of tired hallucinations. And our show is going to be completely predicated on our guest and his hallucinations and or non-hallucinations. It's going to be a fun time. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Yeah, no pressure. No pressure. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. This is the show where we bring you a brand new indie creator every single Friday, whether that is a person writing a novel, a person doing movies, tabletop RPGs. We've had comics, we've had music, we've had all kinds of independent creators over on this show. And my goal for this show, and I don't say this very often, I probably should though, my goal is I will interview the next J.R.R. Tolkien before he's big, and then he'll go on to forget about me, and I hope that I have already interviewed that guy, but maybe I haven't. But that's my goal. That is the thing that I want to do, like that dude that's gonna hit it massive and just be a cultural phenomenon. I want to interview that guy, but I don't know if I have or have not. I will let the chat decide. I probably shouldn't let the chat decide. That's a bad thing. But
always
before we
let
get
the chat decide.
Right. No, never let the chat decide. But before we get into all of that, I want all of you guys to know, because we're over here on the new channel, it is not monetized yet. So for those of you who like to send in super chats, you can click the link in the pinned comment up there. That will take you to my link tree. There is a direct donation button. You can leave a long message there, even longer than you could on YouTube, and you can send in your super chats that way, or your donations, your direct donations, and just leave your screen name. Start with your screen name and then the message, because that really helps me out.
90s now.
I know, right? Yeah, I know. We're using our superhero names today. It's freaking great, eh? Anyway, God, there's the Canadian in me. I'm way too tired for this today. I might die. And the other thing that I want to shout out And I really, really hope that everybody gets behind this because I think it is absolutely important. We've been doing this here for years, and I finally wanted to do something about it to get it out into the wider world because being here on YouTube, being on Twitter, being on just the online space and in the space that we're in, I want to have a much wider reach. So, guys, I came up with actually my wife did the design, but I came up with this, the I Support Indie Creators. Right now it's got books, comics, movies, and games on it. I would love to do a second round of this shirt. And if you guys like it and I see that you guys are buying it, I will absolutely do another round. You will not see my name on this shirt anywhere because this is supposed to be a conversation starter. If you guys are going to Comic-Cons or you guys are going to book fairs or you guys are going anywhere, especially for all of those out there who are selling your books, it would be a great way to start a conversation out in the open world. And then when people come up and they say, hey, what do you mean you like indie creators? You can either promote yourself, you can promote someone else. And I would absolutely love it if you guys would go and you guys would check out my Teespring, pick up that shirt. I have my coffee mug upstairs. I have been waiting for my shirt. I ordered it almost 2 weeks ago and it's not here yet. And it makes me mad. And I am very mad about that because I was like, wow, I would really like the shirt that I ordered to get here. And it's like, oh, yeah, it'll be here Monday. I'm like, oh, so 17 live streams and 4 videos later. But there is the link down below if you guys want to get in on that. And it would mean the world to me if you guys would purchase that. It does help me keep pushing forward with all the live streams and the videos that I'm doing. And now that I have done that, and I will shield the I Support Indie Creators shirts later as well, but I just want to push that at the top of the show because, guys, I really think that it's important because I find that I do my best work when I'm shouting out other people, and instead of trying to get you guys to wear my brand and the stuff that I have, I would much rather you guys support each other who are putting out books and stuff like that, and just shout out the I Support Indies and go out there and tell the world. Right? Get out there, tell the world that you support indie creators. I still haven't seen any pictures posted yet of anybody getting the shirt, so I don't know if anybody has yet. But if you have, post your pictures and let me know. I really would love this. I need to get some bigger creators to wear the shirt. That would be really cool. Apparently, Windows security is telling me something. Anyway, hi, Richard. How are you? No, you're muted.
Richard is silent.
It's a silent film with Richard, ladies. Richard, just
Why
hit the
on
button
earth?
there because you were
There we
muted
go,
in
okay.
StreamYard.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, I hit the Control D hotkey and it didn't do anything. I was like, "What the heck?" Anyway,
I don't know what that means.
you
Richard
don't
can't
use
control the D.
Control D.
you don't use the hotkeys for anything. I shouldn't be surprised.
I don't use the hotkeys for this. I use
I'm
hotkeys
surprised
for
you even
video.
know what
editing.
hotkeys are. I
Dude,
should have
I was-
expected a raunchy joke after that.
No, actually, I'm irritated that they got
I tried.
A lot of modern systems don't recognize some of the older hotkeys, and it kind of irritates me. The control commands is what they were called back in the day. They weren't called hotkeys. They were control commands. So, hi, Richard. Stop making fun of me. Please introduce yourself.
Hey,
And learn to control the D,
You're
Richard.
running out of time to introduce
okay,
yourself.
I'm sorry. The clock is running. All right.
Well, it's got
So-
3 or 4 weeks left. I don't know.
Right.
Something like
yeah,
that.
you're right. It's
I know.
It's almost time for the new month for you guys to get yourselves bring in my replacement and
I mean,
shoo me away.
whoa, that was not the narrative I was
No,
going.
I know,
Wow,
I know.
way to make us feel like assholes.
No, well,
I mean, you're
are,
right, but you didn't have to say it.
Was I not supposed to keep them locked up in the basement?
right.
Well, you should, but
Okay.
sometimes
making
when you
sure.
let
This
them
is
out,
going well. This is a good intro so far.
a
Anvil is
little bit
cruising
of
along.
freedom goes a long way with the base.
I have. I was gonna say
It's on
issue number
theme.
4 is still getting nailed down with the art. I'm still, finalizing that. It's coming. It's coming. And the new project that I'm working on with Sean Korsgaard is also moving along. If you were wanting to send in a submission for issue number 6 of Anvil Magazine, today is the day. Otherwise, you'll have to wait until August. So, it's get it in by
I
midnight.
can't believe you're on issue number 6 already.
Well, yeah, we're on selection for issue number 6, and I won't be getting back to
fact
people
that
until June 25th. So if you're concerned that you haven't heard from me, I didn't
dead.
send
He's
anybody
dead. That's what
acknowledgments that I actually got your emails this time because I've just gotten too many. So if you're worried about it, you can send me a little DM or something and check. But you should just assume that I got it. And worst case scenario, I'll let you sneak in if somehow it fell through the cracks. But
Just assume that your DM was
assume it's
received.
fine.
Yeah,
Just assume that
it's
it's
fine. It's
Just
fine.
assume I'm paying attention. Really.
All of the people who've never answered me to be on this show, I'm just going to assume that they got my DM and
they read it and they looked at it and they went, I'll respond to him sometime. That happens a lot more than I want it to.
2 years later.
Hey, I don't think I've never taken 2 years to respond to somebody, but that's only because I haven't been doing this for 2 years yet.
Well, there you go.
Something to aspire to.
There's just one DM just sitting there.
Yeah.
Just like in the days are counting. Oh, God.
But aside from that, just a crazy week, all sorts of stuff going on. And I don't know, just moving right on forward. It's awesome. If you want to grab issue number 4 of Anvil Magazine for pre-order, the Indiegogo closed. Had a nice little surge there at the end of people signing up. For the most part, I direct everybody to anvilmagazine.com. You can still get it at anvilmagazine.com for another week, maybe another couple days until. Well, realistically, I'm gonna buy overrun amounts. So if you want it, you can still get it over there. But Indiegogo is closed, so you will have to use anvilmagazine.com. Aside from that, just the usual.
Awesome. Hey, I forgot to say hi to the chat.
Yeah, I know you did, but you should let.
I am exhausted, dude. I also forgot to on Comic Shop Wednesday. I forgot to do the panel vote. I was so freaking tired. I forgot to do. They were like, "Yeah, we didn't vote." I had the music going. I was like, "Hey guys, thanks for being here. It was awesome." And they're like, "Royce, why are you playing the outro? We didn't vote." And I was like, "Fuck."
Record scratch.
Dude. Oh yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Hi chat. I see you. We've got people over on the Green Mean website. Also, Mario Trujillo sent in $2 on the Green Mean website. He says, I hate PayPal. Here's some money. Oh, humble edgelord. How am I the edgelord?
The rants.
Well, you should just accept edgelord. It's better than goat lord, right?
At this point, I don't fucking know, dude. Like,
Not by much.
I've been called an anime character, a goat, fucking dad, a fucking edgelord. Like, it's just so many things that I've been called. Hi, chat.
White Claw enjoyer.
That's a fucking lie. Every time you people make me drink that on stream, I almost Ralph. Oh, it's horrible. White Claw is horrible. I blame the downfall of mankind and the creation of White Claw on white women, because that's the only reason that we're ready to enter a couple wars and all that is white women. White women get out there, they vote, they think that White Claw is good. It's terrible. We need to stop this madness. Hi, Daniel.
Hello.
Boy, that was an intro. He's just like, wow, I'm sorry. I'm tired.
No, what do I do with that exactly?
White Claw got Trump convicted.
Yep. It sure did.
I'm losing it. Hi, Daniel. How are you this week?
Tired, but yeah, I'm doing well. The campaign for GCI comic issue number 2 will start on the 7th, so beginning of next weekend.
Yeah.
Got
Daniel, your microphone is really hot. Can you
cool.
roll it down on the Scarlet? Your gain's real high. Roll your gain down on your Scarlet.
All right. Pick the damn thing up.
It also sounds like it's picking something up there.
It does.
Of course it is. It's always picking something
It's on
up.
fire. Daniel.
I will say, after the Razor Force offensive the other day, I felt better about
Oh my God, that was
my
bad.
own sound.
That was bad.
The sound
that was.
quality.
I was watching that today. I was like,
the echoing back and forth. You just can't nail it
dude.
down.
That's
Is
why,
that
like,
worse or better?
No, way better. Way
Really?
better. I think so. Yes.
We can't trust Royce. He's tired.
Trust nothing that I say. No, there's feedback coming from somewhere. It's okay. Hot mics in your area. Hot mics in your area.
Yep. I'm all about that bass.
Shit.
Anyways,
Fuck. I've actually don't. No, I have mic'd a bass amplifier before, and you have to have a very specific microphone to do that. Otherwise, basses tend to. Usually, we just direct it. Hi, Daniel. Don't.
yeah,
let
it was
me
just
rant.
it
Please,
was
for the
just a
love of-
joke, Royce. Relax.
Can you save me from the joke, please? That would be.
Well, like I was trying to say with my audio issues.
It was JVP. JVP mentioned them, not me. You can. I blame the chat. That's what I do.
Nah.
The chat's
I like
really
the
happy
chat.
with the way you sound now, Daniel. By the way, I think. It's
Yay.
perfect.
Okay. So the G Sedai Special Edition comic campaign starts on next Friday. I have everything but one very special guest artist doing a variant cover that should be in by the end of the weekend. So I'll be able to set it all up and have it get started on time. Yay. That's
Awesome.
2 comic books produced in 6 months. Thank you very much.
Freaking cool.
And eventually, whenever ACX finally finishes doing whatever it's doing to my poor audiobook, that'll be out too.
There you go. That's freaking awesome, man. You guys are moving on that stuff. Wow. Let me double check the direct donations real quick in case anybody sent in some supers over there. And without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to introduce a man who I am not hugely familiar with. Bigly familiar with. Bigly seems to be the word of the week. However, I went and I looked at some things and I saw a huge. I saw that there's quite a few people that follow him on the social medias, and on top of that, he's got some things out, and he wants to share those with you tonight. Chris Hicks, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great, guys. I got to tell you, that's a hell of an intro. I was laughing my ass off, enjoying every bit of it. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course.
Daniel's mic sounds like in the background someone's telling the Japanese just hit Pearl Harbor and Morse code in the background. So it's very cool. Very cool. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here.
I'm
Thanks
cool
for
with
having
it.
me.
Oh, no, dude. I'm glad you're here, man.
We can do some code talking tonight.
I do.
Right.
It does. You definitely have feedback coming from somewhere, but I don't know where that feedback is coming from. Anyway, hi, Chris. How are you?
Good. Dealing with a head cold, cold medicine.
God.
Yeah, been going around the house.
And now you have to listen to my voice during that. I am so sorry. Like a head cold in my voice. I have lived that life, and I know that pain. I am so sorry.
Oh, man, you're too hard on yourself. I was actually thinking to myself, you have a good voice for radio, actually. I think.
A good face too.
I wasn't gonna go there.
Yeah. I mean, the second one's on point. Like any. I've told the chat.
Well, maybe you don't anymore. You just talked me out of my compliment. I'll take it back. I was just kidding.
Dude, I have heard my voice enough in my life to know that I can't stand it. So
I can't stand mine either. So maybe that's a positive. I
don't think anybody can. I don't think any like I have
narcissists love it.
Well, yeah.
They love their voice.
One of the things that I've found from a lot of people is that when they there's a very big difference between your head voice and your spoken voice. Like a lot of us hear our head voice because obviously you get the reverberation from, the bronchial tubes and all that stuff. And then everything comes up and it actually echoes around your sinus cavity. So you sound way different way different to other people than you sound to yourself, because all of that vibration's going through your nasal cavities and it's hitting your eardrums from both sides. And then when people hear themselves recorded, they're just like, wait, I sound like that? And it's like, yeah. And they're like, for how long have I sounded like that? And you're like, pretty much as long as I've known you. And some people take it as an insult. It's like, no, that's not an insult. That's just you. Which is why most people hate the sound of their own voice. Fun trivia factoid. Hey, Chris, what are you what are you working on, man? What do you got to tell us? A shout out tonight, dude. It looks like you got some new projects out there.
I got a few things burning. I just finished turning one of my short scripts into a short story for the first time. I've never done that before. I'm primarily a screenwriter. I spent a long time learning and understanding that craft. It's not just about like, oh, I can format a script. It's about how you tell a story. So I wanted to see if there was a way to transfer these short scripts that I have, these stories I just can't get made or don't have the resources or time or effort or what have you, and turn them into a story. So I did that with this first book, and I released that a few weeks ago. So,
and that's what goes around, correct?
What goes around, yeah. It's a karma and a revenge kind of a story with a little bit of supernatural. I pause a little bit because I forget I subtly put in a little bit of supernatural in there, but I really do kind of throw you in the middle of the story. A suburban housewife has a deadly secret. She's lived, a pretty good life, has a family now, good house in the suburbs. She thinks she's got away with it, but she's living on borrowed time. Two strangers come calling, and what ensues is a night of revenge and plot twist and karmic revenge, basically.
You either need to sell this idea to the Hallmark Channel, or you need to sell it to the.
You gotta read the book first, or you wouldn't say the Hallmark Channel.
Well, I mean, it's
I dropped the hammer. I just kind of do it. I really kind of.
Or like the horror thriller channel. What is that called? What is the horror thriller channel called? Why can
I have no idea. Thriller, Chiller.
Chiller? Is it Chiller? No, that's that's a streaming website. Either way, dude, that sounds like a freaking awesome story.
It was originally, like I said, it was originally a script, a film I was going to do, and I got sidetracked, kind of put on the back burner, and I took time off from filmmaking and production work to teach. I was a teacher with special education for about 8 years. So when COVID hit, and I kind of started becoming disillusioned with the whole public education system. Like my first couple years was in Catholic school in a specific unit that was designed and had a lot of funding for special needs individuals. And public schools like a mall in the city, like a South Central. It's like chaos. And I got disillusioned, and COVID kind of like restricted us. We're all staying at home, so I just said, screw it. I'm going back into film production. I'm going to give this a good try. So I thought, what I want to make this movie, but I want to get some buzz to it, and not have to like totally scramble and use all the sofa cushion money I can find to make a movie again. And so I thought, okay, put it into a book and promote it, and then parlay that back into making it a movie, which is kind of cool because the original script and the story are two different things now. So now I have to adapt this new story with all the new things I added to elevate the script and elevate the story and kind of thicken it out. I'm adding to the screenplay and turning it into a movie now. So it's like almost a completely different movie. It has its own different element attached to it. But yeah, so long story short, I forget what the original question was, but I went off on a tangent. Sorry about that.
That's perfectly acceptable around here.
Okay, good.
Expected even.
Yes. Crimson Law sent in a direct donation. He says, Royce, your voice sounds great. I know you love compliments. White Claw, the Beatles, Greta Thunberg, and goats. I hate you so much, Crimson Law. I hope you have a great day.
Told you. Stop worrying about it. Who cares?
And then
Obviously,
Mario,
you got a great setup, man. You got bros with you. You got a cool little thing going on. You know sound. Like, dude, don't
I
sweat it.
I appreciate it, man.
I
And then
think you're
Mario,
Canadian as well, so you're probably like
I'm
really
like
nice.
partially Canadian.
Okay.
Well, I'm mostly Canadian. I was born in the U.S. Anyway, we won't go off on that tangent. Mario Trujillo for $10 over on the Green Mean website says, speaking of White Claw, I have one for the night. Oh, God, no. Not tonight. No White Claw tonight, please, for the love of God. Just one is all I ask. Enjoy, Anime Boy. Okay, first of all, we're not even going there with the Anime Boy thing. Fuck off. And second of all, Chris.
Yeah.
I wanted to get a little bit of background before I ask my infamous first question. So it's not actually my infamous first question tonight. It's about my third or fourth one. But usually the infamous first question is, what got you to where you are as a creator now? Where did all this start? Were you a kid? Were you in college? Like where did this journey begin for you?
1993, Jurassic Park kind of was the
Wow.
catalyst to it. I grew up in a family in Northern California. My dad was in theater. My aunts and uncles were in theater, and they were teachers. And my dad's in computer science. So being in the arts was just there, for the taking. And I had ADHD, so I had a teacher who was like, "Yo, listen, dude, you're joining drama, and I'm giving you a role. Have at it. Do something with your life, with your do something with your." She basically, we bonded over Power Rangers and ADHD, and
All right. I'm down.
all right. So I fell in love with acting, but the whole wanting to be in filmmaking thing, I think it solidified probably the fourth or fifth time I saw Jurassic Park that year it came out as a kid. So 10 years old, maybe 8 is when I started acting in school plays and stuff. But 10 years old, Jurassic Park. Yeah, I think that hit the nail on the cob. It was one of the first books I ran out as soon as like the movie was over. I begged my dad to take us to a bookstore. I don't know if you guys remember those things. They used to exist. You could go out and get books and shit.
Yeah. I used
So
to
I
go
ran.
to those things.
I ran and I asked the lady to I didn't know what it was called, but I knew that there had to have been a book on how to make this movie, right? So I get the book. I found it. There's a book. A thick ass fucker too. It cost a lot of money, but I begged my dad. He bought it for me. The Making of Jurassic Park. Then I was hooked. I was hooked on it ever since. So yeah, so that's pretty much. I mean, I've narrowed it down. I'm 41 now, so I'm telling my daughter all these things. So I pretty much kind of had these conversations with myself. So when these questions come up, I can just narrow it down to a specific time. And with that specific, I knew I wanted to tell stories, but I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. To get to where I am now, I took a really windy path. I started as an actor. I was like, well, shit, I want to be in the movies. Let's be an actor. And then I'm like, you know what? I kind of don't like watching myself perform. I kind of hate listening to myself speak. Let's try storytelling. Let's get behind the scenes. Let's be an extra and let's get on sets and just do whatever I can to survive in LA and learn my craft the old school way. So I dropped out of college and moved to LA, pissed my family off.
Yes.
I couch surfed on people's couches who would have me, worked double shift fast food restaurants, did local shit. I did a fitness board game that never got picked up. They actually went into bankruptcy before the commercial was supposed to hit release. It was a stupid concept, but it was at the time my biggest paid thing. But I've been an extra in some decent movies, and I worked as PA on a couple movies. And when I moved out to the Midwest, I actually got to be on Dylan Baker's first movie as I think he wrote it. He helped write it, and he's as director in Kentucky. And it just happened to be coaching a semi-pro football team at the time, and they needed football players. So I sent them this big ass thing about like I got the team, and they gave us the job, and we drove down there to Corbin, Kentucky, land of Colonel Sanders and Kentucky Fried Chicken, and we filmed all the football scenes for this movie, his first movie, and it was a really cool experience. So I mean, that kind of lit the fuse. That was like in 2012, 2013. Then I was like, okay, I'm making my own movies now. I was on, and then in between those jumps, I get on anybody's set I can get my hands on. It was local, independent, whatever big city is around me. I got into their little social network, and I decided, okay, I'm I'm done trying to help people make their movies. It's time to, put my money where my mouth is, my talent, everything I've learned, and make my own stuff. So around 2012, 2013, I started making my own series of short films, and I cut it short to teach. So then I already got over the teaching part. So that's like where I'm picking up where I left off in about 2014, 15, creatively.
Damn, dude, that's a lot, man. So
and I'm a father now as well in between. So that's a fucking awesome experience mixed in with, oh shit, I have less time now than I ever did. So
yeah, I understand that.
yeah, it's a mouthful, but I try to stay busy all the time doing something.
No, I understand that. I absolutely understand. Well, dude, holy crap, man. So, man, you covered a lot of ground there. So
sorry about that.
No, I like that. It's just a lot to digest. I don't know if I go to the acting angle or if we go to, the moving around and kind of doing it on that.
That's fun. I got a lot of stories that way, but I mean, creatively, where I'm at now is like different than when I was in my 20s and stuff. Nick Lachey's bodyguard once pushed me downstairs.
Nick Lachey's bodyguard. Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know it was his bodyguard until somebody told me it was. I was going up. They were coming. I was going up into a club with a group of friends, and I know this sounds like, oh, it was cool. Trust me, we were like the Big Bang Theory people got invited to go to somewhere cool, and they didn't know how to handle themselves. Okay, we were those guys, they're coming up. They're coming down. I'm going up, and they're shoving everybody away, and everyone's like, "Oh God, you know who that is? You know who that is?" I can't hear shit. I'm being shoved to the ground, and as everything clears out, oh, that's Nick Lachey. Nick Lachey was here. Oh, I'm like, the fucking 98 degrees, dude. And this is like 2003, but that's like the closest I got to like anybody like super famous.
That's
Dylan Baker was famous too. I had to hide the fact that I was a fan of his because I was working with him. I didn't want to like break character and be like, I do movies. Oh my God, I know who you are. Playing trains, automobiles, Spider-Man. I know. Oh my God. Because his assistant was right there, and I'm like, his assistant was like straight out of like casting, like Hollywood casting. Like she was like no bullshit, like right there. So I was like, I know if I get too chatty, I'm never gonna get anywhere near him when we're rolling. So I need to shut the fuck up and just do my job and act like I've been here before when I haven't. It's the biggest job I got on a movie set.
That's something different to think about, because I've heard a lot of people talk about, they've met the stars like as fans at like fan meetup events and things like that, or they bump into somebody in like an elevator store, and they're like, yeah, no, they're super cool in person. Apparently in a business setting, they have like 3 people in front of them that are not super cool, and they're just like, although I have heard some people in business settings, they're just like, they kind of tell their people to like fuck off, and that they're still super cool. But for you, it was definitely Brad.
I knew better. I've been on, I've been on sets as an extra, and I got in trouble as an extra all the time for wandering. Well, they got you in a bullpen for half the day, and sometimes they won't even choose you, or they'll choose you, and then they won't use you, or I can't do it. There's so many reasons why they don't like pick you. They'll forget. And these PAs, man, I was there. It's a shitty fucking job. Like I picked up trash. Shit rolls downhill. You know what I mean? Like PA gets the fucking brunt of it. They get yelled at constantly, walkie-talkie and all that kind of shit. But I would just wander and meander and talk to people and act like I should be where I'm at, wherever I'm at. I should be here. I confidently just stood there, and I got close to things I shouldn't have. But working with Dylan Baker, though, I had to tell my football team who he was, and I'm like, God damn it, you guys, you don't know who this guy is? They're like, no, he is. I'm like, and so like the whole team narked on me and said, oh, like they're a big fan. But real funny, when you're on a movie set, the mics are hot most of the time. And my guys are on field, and they're working with the guy who worked on Friday Night Lights, not the TV series, but the movie with that came out. I don't know if you guys remember that football movie.
Oh yeah.
So the coordinator for that was the football coordinator for this film. Dude was a dick. he tried to get me to suit up and play too because they needed. Oh my god, they needed more people that were of my ethnicity.
Wait, what?
Okay, it's a big controversy. I'll say it, but in Corbin, Kentucky, okay, there's at the time that this movie was made in the early '90s, based off this kid who was blind, right? The movie's called 23 Blast. The kid was blind, and he played offensive lineman in a couple football games, and they made a big story about this and whatnot. And by the way, when I went to meet him, I was surrounded by like everybody, like the cast, the crew, the audience, and shit. It was after a big ass scene, and I go to shake his hand, and everyone starts laughing and looking at me, and he's got that Stevie Wonder thing going, and he's like, "Did he stick his hand out?" And I'm like, "Oh my god!" I tried to shake a blind man's hand. Like, what is he gonna do? Grab my hand? He doesn't know I'm shaking his hand. He's blind. Everyone's laughing at me. It was so embarrassing. Anyway, at least it was for me, and he's laughing it off. But anyway, long story short,
Probably not the first time that's happened to
right?
him.
That's what I said, and everyone act like I was the first person to do it, like I'm Neil Armstrong, and giving me a hard time. But my boys, so. There isn't a lot of schools in the area with people of color, and I was a assistant head coach in Cincinnati, and there's a lot of people of ethnic backgrounds in Cincinnati. My football players were mostly people of ethnic background, and so they tried to mix us in with some high school guys and the appropriate guys from my team that they could use to make a balance of these football teams, because we had to play not just the home team that the blind kid played for, but my guys would also be every single away team that they played as well. So they're so to make this make sense, so during whatever scenes, we shot this over 3 days, the scenes will be like cut in half, or like only 7 people will be on the field for one scene, but it'll look like the whole team's out there, but it's only because half the guys are in the away uniforms and other guys in the home. But long story short, the mics are hot. So my guys are getting fucking bored. So they're by the time they get the rhythm and the cadence from the coordinator dude to like what the plays are going to look like and how to establish all that stuff, they just start calling cadence. Like, I don't know if you know what cadence is. It's like, like, hey, we're going to go a 23 blast on 3, ready, break. But my quarterback was in there, and he would be like, fat chicks suck better dick than skinny chicks on 3, boom. And I can't hear this. I'm like 10 feet away from Production Village, and that's where like all the mics are, and the stands, and the seats, and the director, and the AD, and all this shit. And I'm like 10 feet behind them, and I get this one person looks behind me, and I'm an idiot. I'm drinking hot cocoa. It's 2 a.m. And he looks at me, and I smile at him like a jackass. Like, hey, what's up? What's up? Hi, I'm on set in a movie. What's up? And I'm, waiting to be called to go out there and do my thing. And then and then another take happens. And then like 2 or 3 people look at me. And I'm like, oh shit. And the makeup girl goes, you need to listen to this. And by the time I get there, oh my God, all hell breaks loose. Dylan is losing it. He's staring at me. The AD guy's laughing his ass off. And I'm running out on field like, guys, they can hear everything you say before the word action. They're like, no, I'm like, bet. So we go, and so we had a couple major fuck ups on that set as well. So it was an experience, to say the least. They were saying a bunch of other stuff. I'm just not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. But you can be imaginative, right?
YouTube. I'm good with it. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
But they were picking on crew members. Oh man! Like, did you see the guy with the limp on 3? This stupid shit. Well, this movie's gonna suck. This movie's gonna suck on 3. Or it's just, oh my guys, what are you doing there? They're from the age of 18 to like 30, 35.
So
they're just eating it up, right? And I'm like, man. So, but yeah, we made Final Cut. They're in there. The jackasses, they're in there. Needless to say, after the last day, they kicked us out of they kicked us the fuck out, because the team members that didn't get used, the ones that weren't the right look, well, they went back to the hotel rooms and just tore up Corbin, Kentucky, a new one. They went to all the bars, took out all the white women. When I came back to my hotel room, there was like a row of my football players, girls and boyfriends and husbands running and screaming and knocking on doors and management. And they're like, we're going to have to go. I'm like, we're here for 2 more days, guys. We're here for 2 more days. I'm like, go back to Cincinnati. Just like, some of them did leave after that first day, but some of them did stay. And they were still mad at me. I don't think Dylan, like, I tried to apologize, but he wasn't having it, man. He wasn't having it. So, first impressions, dude.
Wow.
But at the time, what could you do? But they acted a fool. They acted a total fool.
That
it was
is probably one of
embarrassing.
the
I was
best
embarrassed.
behind-the-scenes stories I have ever
I
freaking heard.
Didn't even get into my room the first night. I was on set for 12 fucking hours.
That's great.
Because my roommate was in there doing his thing.
Oh no!
And I couldn't get in my room, so I went back to like one of the trailers and I slept in there the first night. I walked back to the trailer.
I
eating 7-Eleven gas station burrito. Contemplating my fucking life. But I had to take the experience, man. I knew that someday this would pay off. And I told myself that. I never told anybody like what all went down. It's almost like we had because driving back, because they chartered us there and the bus broke down. And then they got us a new bus and that bus broke down when we got there.
Oh no.
So after our shenanigans, they told us you're fucked. They gave us a school bus that and half the team took the school bus, and I went with another one of the players. We took his car, and it was like we drove there, and we were all excited. On the way back, we would drive with shame. 2.5 hours up to Cincinnati, and we didn't say a word to each other. We just looked down at the ground, and we're just like tired, dead, and just disgusted with ourselves. And what did we do? What didn't we do? And then we ate something.
Didn't you do shorter than the list of?
It was. And then we ate something, and then people started saying what happened, and I'm like, oh my god, this is what you did that, and oh man, it was really bad. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare, but I figured it would pay off eventually.
That's freaking great, dude. Oh man. So what did you guys do while you were down there? I think the better question is, what didn't we do? Let's start with that.
My fiance was my wife at the time. She asked, and I just went, I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her half the shit.
Oh, man.
I couldn't. I don't know what to say. I was thankfully on set every time that we were supposed to be. So I wasn't in the shenanigans off set. You know. So I dodged that bullet. Because after like the second day, they didn't really need me as a liaison anymore. But also who was on set too, which was really cool. I think his name is Scott. I call him Scott Lang because I get them mixed up with fucking Ant-Man. But he's the villain. The villain from Avatar. I forget his name. It's fucking Lang.
I know who you're talking about. I don't know the actor's name.
He was the head coach of the football team. So when he showed up on set, like everyone went bananas. The whole town came in to be like and sit in the stands and shit. And it was like you couldn't get within 5 feet of this dude. He shook my hand, but I don't think he was paying attention to me. But supposedly there's pictures of me on set. My old football players have them. I just haven't seen them. But apparently there's a picture of me and like Dylan Baker, like. Actually, like, cause he's breaking down like what he wants to shoot, and he's talking to me about it, and we're both like making the exact same pose, like with our hands and on our mouths, just staring off at the fucking football space. He's pointing, and I'm staring. Anyway, some cool experiences mixed in with some absolute horror. Yeah,
that's wow. So,
we didn't get invited to the premiere.
I don't know where to go from here. What do I?
We made the local news, but we did not get invited to the premiere.
From what you just told me, you didn't make the local news for a good reason.
We made the Cincinnati local news for a good reason. We did not make the Corbin whatever the hell news down there is. We did not make good news. No way. In fact, I think we might have they're never going to make a movie using that football stadium ever again, even with that name and shit. So.
A tale of two news stories. Dude,
Yeah.
that's fucking hilarious. Okay. My God, that's freaking hilarious. I had a question. It's gone. Richard, do you have a question by chance?
I mean, I have a lot of questions, but
Well, yeah.
you know, I don't know if any of them really relate to your work, so to say, so to speak.
Oh, dude, that's a blast, man.
Well, okay. I am curious. How did you settle in? I know you were saying that you kind of were starting out as a screenplay, and you thought maybe move it more towards a
Story,
book, and then maybe get that, you know, build some momentum into actually back towards a screenplay or a movie, essentially. But where did this story originate for you?
Great. That's a cool question. It's contradictory to like my normal personality, but I've always been kind of attracted to like dark themes, dark humor. I'm a goofy, lighthearted person, but I'm also like a man of like principles and a man of morals and I'm a man of I wouldn't say I was necessarily believing karma, but you know, as a writer, you kind of pull from what you know. And at the time, this story is actually like, believe it or not, it's like six and a half years old. So like at the time, I was transitioning into becoming a teacher and dealing with some new things for the first time and dealing with some people, and it just burned me, pissed me off, and I didn't, and all I was hearing from people was, "Oh, karma will get them. Oh, karma will get them. Don't worry, I'll catch up with them. What goes around comes around. What goes around comes around." I'm thinking, like, what happens if God needs help? What happens if the right hand of God needs a little fucking push? Because this revenge shit, this karma shit, is not happening fast enough for my liking.
Okay.
And it's not happening in the way where I want it to. So I created a fictional kind of event. You know, someone's got something coming to them, and I'm gonna vent and make this up. So like, but there are no one specific, anybody specific. I went really, I don't, like, there isn't like, this is this person and that is that person from my life. No, I just I took that emotional shit aside of it, like the personal, and just stuck with the emotions that I was feeling and tried to translate them into the characters that are in this. Like, there's like the strangers, they embody more than just what. And then what's cool about it is because the story nothing is as it seems. So it's like it's got that element to it where there's a little bit of relatability, I think, in everybody. Like, you're going to relate to the strangers, you're going to relate to mom and dad, and you're going to relate to somebody screwing you over, or you're going to relate to what happened. Maybe you got a skeleton in your closet. Maybe you got a fucking secret and you're scared as shit it's going to come to light. But then you get lazy. You get lazy, right? You get complacent. But all of a sudden, here it comes, right? When you're, you know, and so those little emotions built into a story, a little packful. So I typed out this real quick 15-page screenplay, and I started shopping around to my actor friends and my film friends, like, oh my God, this is impactful, because I didn't have, the budget wasn't there. So I needed to make it one room, one day, one night, minimal cast, minimal crew, impactful story, great dialogue, and great acting needs to sell the shit out of it, like, to be impactful. And what can I do on a small budget? And this is, that way of storytelling, I think, is a great way. If you can master the art of 3-act narratives and with a small punch, I think you got something. So that's where. So I took all that and then I created this. And what goes around, I had multiple different titles for it, but to get to where we are with this story was just kind of emotional venting, but also wanting to see it at an extreme. So it's not just like, oh, so secret's revealed. It's like, an eye for an eye. You're like, oh shit. So it's like, it's not just that. And then it compiled into, well, I kind of also want to go there. So, there's a little bit of a gut punch twist at the end that kind of makes you, it's gonna mess with you. It's there for a reason, but it's not. But anyway, long story short, that's kind of where I'm at with it. So it's yeah. So, but what I really wanted to do was kind of shake it up a little bit. So I decided to kind of like give it a tone. So I don't like to compare things directly, but I'm heavily influenced with Twilight Zone and Outer Limits. When I was a kid, I loved those stories. I love watching something that you think it's one thing and then it turns out to be another, or there's secret meanings behind things, or something that you might have to watch again and you miss something. So I set a world up. So that's basically it. We basically watching an episode of really messed up Twilight Zone version, so yeah, that's basically a long story, but yeah, that's it.
So you made one comment that I was kind of stimulated a question in my brain, which was I think you said something about being on a budget with this. The setting to me, based on my initial read of this, is that this is set in a house. Were you writing to kind of make this a feasible to shoot?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Movie?
Originally, yes. The original concept was, I'm going to shoot this, so I need to do it on a budget. I need to do it in a controlled environment.
Not in the Pentagon and then at the Eiffel Tower and then
no. Yeah, I had to really, you know what I mean. It wasn't one of my I'm writing this for fun screenplays. This was like Chris is going to shoot this, so I knew it needed to be, and that's the key. And it's a weird thing is like, especially in the film community, like it gets a lot of buzz to this. Like I'm still getting a lot of attention and people coming to me about this project because it's got meat to it, and that's what you got to do. And within the community, you can see a couple people in a room with tension, and you'll go to it. You don't have to be, the Avengers fighting off the fucking Shatari every 5 minutes, but if you got compelling actors telling story, and you can get their attention. It's basically what I'm saying. So I was at the time when I wrote this, my whole process was like trying to maximize the emotional attention with as little money as possible. That doesn't break the bank. So yeah, no budget filmmaking. Yeah, something you could do on no budget that could have an impact. My first short film, I did it with no dialogue, and I won a few awards. I got in the second round of Project Greenlight, and they rebooted that back in the day. All because someone told me I couldn't do it. They said, you can't tell a narrative story without saying a word, being a jackass. And so I wrote a script, and I went to the best actors in the area, and I was like, hey, could you read this real quick? And they're like, okay, I'll do it for free. I'm like, let's do it. So I did it. It's my baby. It's my big ass FU to like, holy shit. So if you do this right, if you try to concentrate on telling something that's a good story, a lot of things that may hinder you as an amateur or independent filmmaker, people will kind of let slide a little bit. That doesn't mean you can't work on those things, but it can mean you can release things that people want to watch as you grow and not have to hold back for years while you're learning, and because things aren't totally there. But when you got that story that makes sense, you'll be surprised what can come around it. The story is king mantra is just something that resonates with me. You can do a lot with a good story. You can raise money with a good story. You can get casting with a good story. You can get people to do a bunch of shit for a good story.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Well, that's really cool, dude.
Thanks,
I always think that it's interesting to look at pragmatically actually trying to make something happen with a movie. Now, not to necessarily get into spoiler territory, but I mean, is this like a thriller horror, or is this? I mean, is there any paranormal or otherworldly elements going on here?
Spoiler territory, kinda, I guess. But everyone that's read it and come to me and said like, oh yeah, I got it. So like, I don't know if I don't want to lean heavy into what I feel is like my ace in the hole.
Gotcha.
But it's hard to pin it down because
besides Royce is back, we can
it's
ask him about the chicken.
But you're right about everything that you said. So it's all of that. It's really weird to categorize it because genre was kind of the last thing I didn't go, I want to make a suspense, but suspense could be a Michael Crichton. They got nukes, we got nukes. Who's gonna fucking fire? But a thriller, it's horror. It scares the shit out of me, and it should scare the shit out of you. But it's not like a slasher. It's not like there's a monster. So it's like, shit, is it horror? But it's a supernatural horror thriller suspense.
My favorite.
There you go. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I really
that
don't.
would kind of describe what you're talking about is The Skeleton Key.
Oh shit! Yeah, that's a good one.
Like
I haven't seen that in a fucking long time. That's a good one,
dude. That's one of the few. Because that's definitely not my genre of movie, and my wife, she hadn't seen it, and she's a big like horror person. Like,
my wife loves it too.
She loves horror movies and stuff like that. And I was like, well, I'm not a horror guy, and I'm not really, but I like some thrillers here and there. And I was like, but this one here, I really like The Skeleton Key, and I showed her The Skeleton Key, and she was like, oh my god. And that movie just totally takes a twist at the end that you just weren't expecting, and it's freaking great for it. It keeps people on the edge of their seats. It keeps people kind of guessing. You think it's going to go one direction, and it doesn't. And it is a fantastic movie. And I love when people are able to kind of play with elements like that, you know?
Yeah, especially emotional beats as well. Like, it sucks.
Yeah.
I hate to be on the other side of it, but sometimes I love it. I do love to kind of like leave the audience wanting more, and I think I do with this book. Every time somebody comes to me, it's like, oh, I want to know more. I want to know what happens, but I leave it up to you. But that's part of the story, is not knowing. And everyone's like, think it out, make it longer. I'm like, I can't. I feel like I've diluted it. It's a short story. It just has to be this. It has to be that gut punch. And if you don't feel it, that's cool. I get it. But if you do, and you hear it, and you actually feel what I'm trying to actually say, you understand why maybe it could be expanded more when I bring it into a film. But you're right, that movie and another movie, I think the 1408, that was
1408 is good.
Was there's a little bit of that in there? Like, yeah, this is supernatural. Like, Karma's a bitch. Like, Karma, she's a bitch. She's in here, and she's coming for blood.
No joke.
And she's bringing somebody with her that has ties to the big man, but it's not about them. It's do you understand what I mean? Like, I didn't want to be like, when you read the book, there's no name. It's mom, dad, little girl, older man, younger woman. That's it. And it's like, it really pisses people off for some reason. I'm like, I don't know, why is it so? It's not conventional, and I'm going to get a lot of heat for that because I try to play outside the rules once I've had a good knowledge of them. But originally in the screenplay, I didn't think about that. But, you know, I did in the book kind of like tell them that it's the Anderson family. Somebody talked me into explaining it to the Anderson family. So I just picked the Andersons off of, you know, Thomas Anderson.
Right.
So the Matrix, yeah. So they're the Anderson family because it's make-believe. Anyway, like the Matrix.
Love that.
But,
I love that. That's
so there you go. Somebody pissed me off, so I put it in there.
and you know, doing that, the mom, the dad, the little girl, the older man, you're stripping away a lot of other elements out of the story, and
are important. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, they don't need to necessarily be there. It's just like, okay, well, the
not
little girl,
knowing,
like,
right?
Because people are like, okay, well, what's the mom interested in? What's the dad interested in? And who are their parents?
I give you a little bit. I give you a glimpse.
Yeah, but you kind of open up a lot of those doors with like, why did they name the kid that? Why, like, there's a lot of things like that. And when you're just like, no, we're gonna go with nameless characters, and we're just gonna strip this down to the story. That's a ballsy move in today's world, I feel. Because everybody wants to know everything because we live in the world of information. And when you've got a story and you're just like, yeah, here you go. And yeah, by the way, you're just going to follow the story. You're not going to know.
Paint your own. But yeah, you're right. And I'm also like, paint your own picture over the top of it. If someone goes, well, at the end, does this happen? I'm like, do you think that happens? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, well, it happened. But did it happen? I'm like, I don't know. I didn't fucking write the end. I don't know. You tell me. How do you feel? And as a screenwriter too, like when someone's like 800 people are going to read this before the director does, and when the director reads it, he doesn't want to know your specifics. He wants to be able to go, oh, this is cool. I can see this as like an airplane coming down, like from this angle. If I put too much specifics in there, it deters from all the people that would be interested in reading that script, because you want them to be like, oh, this is cool. I want somebody else to read this. I'm putting my own imagination on top of it. And you don't really want to be. So I kind of bleed over that into the story, and maybe the writing suffers for it. I've had a few people tell me that, like, yeah, you're showing and not telling a little bit. And I'm like, yeah, there's a little bit of that in there, but I'm learning. My next book will be a little bit more detailed, but I have a screenwriter aspect in me that kind of leaves things to imagination. Yeah.
But show don't tell is important, and I think a lot of people. There was something that I was looking at a few weeks ago, and I thought to myself, I was like, man, most people audiences today are so used to just being spoon-fed this story on a silver platter. I don't think they would know what a story would be if it didn't blatantly tell them what was happening on screen or in the book or in the comic. And then when it's showing you something, people bitch about that a lot, because I don't think people they're just, the modern day audiences are just not used to that, because we've not seen show don't tell stories in a couple of decades at this point. Like, I mean,
Tarantino will tell. Tarantino's really good at, like, okay, we get a little hint of, like, okay, this guy's from the Green Hornet, maybe you can't get a job here, and they're like, what happened on the Green Hornet? Instead of going, you remember when you kicked the shit out of Bruce Lee? No. Fucking Tarantino goes, we'll show you what happened. Give me a second. So a few beats down the line here, clappity clap clap, here we go. We find out why he can't get a job on the fucking dude thing, because he kicked the shit out of Bruce Lee on the Green Hornet. And that's the thing that's missing in storytelling in general. And I think in the indie thing, and I'll die on this hill, man, is there's a lot of people don't understand that a lot of people spend a long time learning how to craft stories. I'm not just talking about formatting shit, because to be honest with you, you can plug your garbage into a chat GPT thingy and it'll pump out make it look like a novel. You don't got to do shit anymore. But they can't teach you how to be creative. It can't teach you why not every single one of your ideas is worthy of being a story in the first place. Or what? So I think creatively, storytelling wise, I think these little things that you're bringing up and that we're talking about right now are just, they're lost. And it definitely, within comic books, there's a different way of telling a story. And I also learned that the hard way too. I was like, okay, my script doesn't translate. I've had some time and issues with that. It doesn't really fully translate over, because it's a completely different, I thought it would be similar, but it isn't.
Well,
you think it would be, but it's not. The script is not. The formatting is it's heavy dialogue driven. I'm more of a, like, it's a dialogue every time they speak, it's got to be necessary, and it's got to push the plot, or else you're just fucking preaching to the choir. I'm like, I don't like that. But that's just me.
Asking and begging, can we just return to the 90-minute movie? Can we just return to the 90-minute runtime? Like, hour and a half, tight storytelling,
I'm craving those old school 90s John Woo movies with John Travolta and Nick Cage, and
right.
I'll give me some Con Air. Like, I want to make those aren't high art movies, but I think this is a kind of a high art story. But I got that in me. But there's a part of me, I grew up with those movies, and those are fun and entertaining. And the story was just believable enough for you to go, oh shit, we're flipping again. Okay, we're flipping again, and things are blowing up. Yeah. Cool actors doing cool shit with cool dialogues, not taking themselves seriously, but it's also a different, it's a different time now. It's nuts.
Well, sure. I was talking to Jake Calta actually about Furiosa, which I haven't seen, but people have been kind of
they're being really fucking mean to it, to be honest with you. And I'm a strict dude on films. I'm a snob. But I know when to turn off my fifis and go, you guys are being a little hyperbolic.
My main thing was it's like a.
I had fun. When's the last time y'all had fun in a movie that wasn't Marvel?
I just felt like it was. I don't know. I was looking at the runtime and I was like,
there you go.
It's going to be a hard sell for me to be interested in it at that kind of runtime. You know
what
I mean?
I get it, but for Chris Hemsworth's performance alone, you got to watch it. It's worth it.
Dude,
worth a one-stop shot. He's unrecognizable. Like, I was on the fence about this dude, a lot, and I don't know if I like him or what I don't. I don't know, but like he went for it. Got to give him credit, man. His Dementor, oh my, best part of the movie. Fucking every time he's on, he's chewing the shit out of the scenery. It's fucking brilliant, and he doesn't even look like Chris. Oh man, it's worth it. It's not without pacing issues. But
talking about runtime, like we were talking about being dads and having kids and all that, and like one of the last movies
I get you.
We took the kids to, because it's expensive.
No, don't take your kids to it.
No, not this movie. What I'm saying, like the last movie we took the kids to, because it's expensive to take the kid. Well, not the last movie we took them to, but and I will never watch this movie again for that reason. But we took them to the Spider-Man. They had Tobey Maguire and
Spider-Man Far From Home.
Yeah, that one.
No Way Home or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah, and I'm happy to see Tobey Maguire back in the movie. I think that the first 45 minutes of the movie was kind of pointless, but I had a good time overall. But I will never watch that movie again, ever, because we get in the truck, we're driving back home, and I asked the kids, I'm like, hey guys, what did you think about that movie? Like, that was pretty cool, right? Like that you got to see the Spider-Man that I grew up with, And they were like, yeah, no, it was a really fun movie. And one of my kids in the back, she goes, yeah, but it was really long. Then like, yeah, that movie was really long, and they've never said a fucking word about it since.
Oh, I haven't rewatched it.
And I was like as soon as we were out of the theater, my kids, who were just got done watching probably one of the best Spider-Man movies that's been released since Spider-Man 2. And my kids have seen that because I have the original, the Sam Raimi ones. And they get out of that movie and they're like, yeah, and they've never said a word about it since. And I was like, if you can't keep children's attention during a fucking Spider-Man movie, you're doing something wrong. And it literally ruined the rest of the experience that I had, because I was like, man, it's fucking Spider-Man. Like, how do you not keep children's attention for fucking Spider-Man? Like, I remember seeing those movies in theaters when I was a kid, and dude, I didn't want to leave the theater. I wanted to try to sneak into the theater and watch it again. And and I was like, wow, man, they've lost the plot.
You bring up a great point. That feeling of, oh shit, I didn't want the movie to end. Like nowadays, I'm like, oh god, when is this gonna end?
Oh yeah. When
is this assaultment on my senses gonna stop? And the days of like, you're right. You bring up a good point, and I talk about like, I don't think it's been since The Dark Knight. Like, I remember being so hyped, and I was dating my wife at the time in 2008, very young. And I was talking to her about how, oh my God, I'm a huge Batman fan. That's my dude.
Right.
And I'm like, gotta see this movie. She's like, this stupid, silly. I'm like, no, we're getting there early. We're stood in line. We had advance tickets, dude. We're ready to go.
Right.
By the time we get in there, it's because of chaos. The credits are going, and I'm sitting up in my seat ready to go. And from the second the movie starts, until it ends. My wife says that I didn't sit in the back of my chair. I sat up, right. And I was just fucking solidly focused on a movie. And I left that theater just super jazzed. Yeah, other than being really corny, I can't explain my feelings. I don't really want to be super corny right now, but I was just extremely excited. It got creative juices going, all kinds of shit. Just like, dude, so. But I haven't felt like that since. I felt horrible during what was it, Endgame. Endgame felt like somebody kicked me in the nuts.
I'm so glad I didn't see it in theaters, dude. I one of the last.
When it ended, I was like, oh Jesus, they're gonna do it. They're gonna end it like that. That's gonna be. I would say that's when everything went downhill after that movie. I never started. I don't have any more feelings for the MCU anymore after that. By the way,
it was over. The story was over. Like they should have just walked away. But no,
we all knew, comic book guys. We all knew what was going to happen. Some form of them getting the stones back. Blah blah blah. Uh-huh. That wasn't. What we want to know is how we were going to get there, and they told us
the worst way that they could have done
it. Yep.
But anyway, no, dude, I remember seeing Thor Ragnarok.
I like that movie.
And I
had fun with that movie.
I can't watch it anymore because as time has gone on, I have slowly.
It doesn't hold up. Oh shit.
Oh, dude, in a bad. But I went and saw it the first Iron Man movie, I think I saw it 3 times in theaters in like the first week it was out. Like
Iron Man was
I went and I saw it. I can't even remember. I saw it with my buddies. We were hyped to see it. So we go out, we see it. We got a bunch of Wendy's afterwards, which was awesome. And then I had to go to work, and I had to go to work at like 2:00. Movie theater opened up at like 10, and they had like an 11 o'clock showing, and I was like, sweet, I can get there, I can watch. So I like put my I worked at an IHOP at the time, so I like throw my shit
I
on.
used to work at IHOP.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fucking
IHOP stands for I hate old people.
Oh, dude, especially on senior day.
Especially on senior Wednesdays.
Oh,
holy
that's
shit!
Right. That was the worst.
And they come in with coupons on top of that.
Oh my god! And they're like, "Can my $2 meal get a discount?" I'm like, "Fuck."
Oh yeah, dude, and then we have to take it.
Oh, and so you take the coupons. They order like 15 cents worth of food, and then they tip a tenth of that, and you're just like, please.
They just ate at IHOP for $2.
Please get out of my fucking section so I can make some money. God fuck.
Yep. Yep. Oh man, that is so funny.
Oh,
but yeah.
Sorry. Wow. I haven't had that thought in a very long time.
Me neither. I try not to. I fucking hate IHOP now, dude. I'll never eat there again. And
I'd still eat their food. I would still eat their food. It would.
Nah, man. I can't eat another pancake. I haven't had a pancake.
Nah, bro. It was the French toast is where it's at. It's a French
toast. No, never ate their French toast. I don't know why. And nobody ever ordered French toast. You know, no one ever ordered those honey wheat pancakes either. Like when somebody did, I was like, "Are you sure?"
Oh yeah.
Like nobody ordered this, bro.
The IQ of people that walked into IHOP wasn't exactly.
I get you.
Anyway. Sorry.
But sometimes though,
I could go on. Holy fuck, dude. Oh.
Sunday morning though. Sunday morning, if you had a good shift, you can make it. You can walk out of there with $100.
Dude, Saturday and Sunday mornings were the shit.
Yep.
Yeah,
I could make $250 a weekend.
Oh yeah.
On Saturday and Sunday if I worked my ass off.
Oh yeah.
Let people go before me. Who wants to go? It's getting slow. Not me. I'll take your section shit. See you later.
Oh, dude, I was a terrible waiter.
We're slinging.
I was
horrible too, but it's fucking pancakes. The shit's up in like 6 seconds. Like this is easy.
I know. Yeah, that's
like
true.
you just stop. Don't stop moving. And
right.
just keep it coming like a factory. You know, this is TGI Friday, right? Right.
Like,
me
my
too.
manager loved that the restaurant was always clean when I was there. So it's like, you kind of suck at taking care of customers. They're like, but the restaurant's clean as shit.
No,
so,
you pump them out. You do your side work as you're working. So when it's time for you to do your side work, it's halfway done, and you can just get the fuck out of there. But you just keep them in, keep them out. Like, boom. How do you want your fucking eggs cooked?
Yeah.
you want egg McMuffin? Nobody wants the egg McMuffin.
I hated special orders. Well, I need a special order. Oh, fuck me.
Egg whites only. Okay.
Well, I'd like to order this. Is be like, I don't see it on the menu. Fuck. Can you go ask the cooks if they can make this? No.
Dude, my favorite was, do you have? You have a menu in front of you, and you're asking me.
Yeah, like it's on the menu. Please, for the love of God, just, dude. Here's the cool part. They've got
point it out, but point it out with your middle
finger.
Just
point.
Point at the picture.
On the fucking for the love of fuck, God, I do not miss food service.
Dude, I don't either. Like, ladies would be like, please don't make me say Rudy Tooty Fresh and Fruity. I'm like, you can just point, but you just said it. But yeah, how do you want
There
your
was
eggs?
a number next to it. Just say I want the fucking number. I know what number it is. Fuck.
I get you.
Oh, God. Why did you
Look, I'll make this really easy on you.
I think I reminded me of that shit. Anyway, no, it was Iron Man. I was like, that's what it was. I went to see that movie like 3 times. Oh my fucking God. Yeah, no, but I love that, man, dude. And I don't have that drive, and maybe it's just because I'm older and I'm a father now and all that. But I don't have that drive to want to go see a movie like that. But if there was a movie out there that I just fell in love with, I could see me being like, hey babe, can I have some money? Go to the movies after work. Like I want to go see this movie again. Like
that was my thing, dude. I went to the movies. Like where was I? If I wasn't at home, I was at the movies. And when me and my daughter, shit, that's gross. When my wife started dating. So when I moved here, I didn't really know anybody, so I started working construction, and I just spent my paychecks on blockbuster movies, like going to like the $5 movie cart, just buying movies.
Yeah, I did that.
And when we started dating, we just like every time we would go on a date, and she's like, "What do you want to do?" I'm like, "Let's go to the movies." She's like, "Oh my god!" And we saw some stinkers, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But we were at the
Dude,
movies, man. I drug her to some shit that she hates to this day that she will never watch again.
Dude, that's how
but I just go to the movies.
Interested.
That's what I do.
That's how I got introduced to the Jason Bourne movies, like the first 3.
Oh,
I'd
yeah,
never
those were
seen them in
kick-ass.
theaters. I'd never seen
I
them
saw them in theaters. Yeah, those were good.
I love those first 3 movies, but I will never forget them for introducing the action movie world to shaky cam.
I'm not a big fan of that.
No,
especially
but
when
they were
Nolan
good in
came
that
out and
movie.
did
They were
Batman
good in
like
that
that.
movie because
It
they hadn't
worked
gone
in
over.
that.
They did.
It worked.
But, and then every action movie after that was like, we need
You gotta
bullet
imagine.
time and shaky cam, and we need bullet time shaky cam, which I don't think they ever got ballsy enough to do. Oh my God, it was fucking horrible.
But Matt Damon at the time was when
great
I was young
fucking
enough to
job.
know that Matt Damon was not an action star. So like he was the guy from fucking what's it called, the Apple movie. How You Like Them Apples?
Oh yeah.
I forget what it's that. Where he's that math kid. What the fuck is that movie called? Good Will Hunting, and a bunch of other stuff.
Shit, yeah, Big Will Hunting. Fuck.
So when he's in the embassy in the first movie, and all of a sudden it clicks in, and he starts kicking the shit out of those Marines.
Oh, dude, that's so.
You're like, oh my god, that's Matt Damon, and that's not a stunt double. That is him. Like, oh shit,
dude,
this guy's a real actor. I was like, oh my god. And then when they drove the mini fucking car around during the action sequence scene, oh bro, you had me, bro.
Dude,
like, that's cinema. There you go.
That movie had me from like when he's sitting there sleeping on the park bench, and they're like,
oh, the
like,
cops
hey,
come and try to get him out,
and all of a sudden he just starts speaking French. Or it was German. He starts speaking German, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? And then they like take the nightsticks out, and he grabs it, and they're like, let go of the night, and he just dispatches those motherfuckers. I was like, whoa! Like right there, I was sold, dude, fucking sold.
And then
like,
obviously, it's got one of the greatest movie lines in history. You know, oh Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bourne. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah,
dude.
You know, it spawned one of the most quotable movie lines, and it's a good series. Underrated. I think it's underrated.
Right. Guys, by the way, I am dropping the link for Chris's brand new What Goes Around down in the chat over on payhip.com. Go check that out. We definitely tangented there, but fuck, man.
Sorry about that, other guys.
Oh, dude.
Well, I'm so sorry. I feel I'm gonna get off here, and I'm gonna tell my wife, I'm like, I talk too much. I just really embarrassed the shit out of myself, probably.
No, you did. Not more than me, dude. And I'm like,
your goal is to talk more, So you're doing good.
I always tell people, man, your job is to sell yourself here. Let people know what you're about, and us sitting here reminiscing about movies and all this stuff. God,
I just don't want to bore people because I'm just I'm a cinema nerd, man. When you break everything down to my core, dude. I love movies. Good storytelling.
There was a discussion earlier that was going on in chat, but about horror movies. What are some of your favorite horror flicks? I know you mentioned Jurassic Park, but that's kind of.
Dude, Jurassic Park's got horror elements in it too. It scared the shit out of me as a 10-year-old. I didn't want to fucking come face to face with Velociraptor, dude. Hell no. Yeah. I'm a big fan of 80s slasher films for like guilty pleasure. Mm-hmm. Horror, I'm a big fan of like unconventional horror or things that it's really hard to explain. Like Strangers, it's a horror film in my eyes. I think the original Purge film, that's horror. Maybe it's not horror to the genre, but that scares the shit out of me. Stuff like that. That's borderline could happen. Or isn't so far-fetched out of happening to normal people. Those kind of horror is my favorite. Stuff like that. So much of like The Conjuring and dolls come into life, like Chucky, like or some of those things.
Fuck Chucky, just to this.
They don't really do it for me, so to speak. But
I mean, Chucky's pretty funny at times.
Yeah.
How about Don't Breathe? Somebody in the chat, Ultimate Kahuna, how about Don't Breathe? Do you know that movie?
I've heard of it. I have not seen it. So it's really hard. I mean, my tastes are all over the place. I'll say that I don't really like the ghost stuff, but when I was a kid, what's the movie with the damn, they're here, with the ghosts in the fucking house is haunted. What's it called? Poltergeist scared the living daylights out of me as a child.
Poltergeist.
And
is
it
great.
would, if I watched it right now, I can almost tell you my heart would race, even though I know exactly what's going to happen in that movie. But those kind of horror movies, I guess, get me because it's not blatantly ghosts flying around, and chasing people and shit. It's like ghosts are different. Something that's a little bit unconventional, like when we see like the toys flying around, but there aren't ghosts actually doing it, but it's just swirling in that room. It's things like that. But I'm also open to, I'm a big sucker for vampire. Vampires are cool.
Daybreakers. Daybreakers is one of the best vampire movies that's ever been made.
It's one of the best ones that has been out in a while. It's one of that's cool.
Like, I have not seen.
I'm a huge Interview with a Vampire fan. I like Anne Rice. I like her first couple books.
I didn't finish it. I was watching it with my wife, and the problem is we have a bad habit of starting movies at like 11:30, and I can't hang no more. So.
Roger that.
But it wasn't bad, like, at all. Like, I mean, Interview with a Vampire, like that. I didn't see anything bad in that movie. I just haven't finished it yet, so I got to do that.
Yeah,
a sucker for vampires, but somebody got that.
sucker for vampire.
Oh shit! Sorry.
I'm actually working on a vampire story. It's taken a long time because everything has been done to hell. So I'm trying.
Yeah, I treaded that and then retreaded it, and
I have to do something different. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna try to do some kind of audience fake out. But you know what I mean. I don't want to give away, but I'm working on something. I'll give you the working title. It's called Nocturnals.
Ooh.
So
simple,
I wanted
to the point.
Like I told you before, I'm a big fan of. Oh, it's this movie. Oh wait, it's not. It's this movie. Oh wait, but it's actually this kind of movie. Yeah, it's good. I'm trying to do that with vampires.
Good luck, man. That's a tough.
That's why it's going to be a while.
One of the most interesting takes I've seen on kind of like the vampire mythos was Brian Asher. He's an indie author, wrote a book called The Fear of Montcroy.
Mm-hmm.
And he had a really interesting. Do you have that up on the wall, Richard? But he did a really interesting take where a dude
cool.
had to infiltrate the vampire like culture. And he had to use like magical potions to like disguise himself. I really, really love it. Really, really good. I got one of the early copies, so I got to see all of his
very
mistakes
cool, man.
and stuff. But no, Brian did a banger of a job with that book. I really, really loved what he had to do with that book, and it was very interesting. It was very like, the old world vampires, and they're like aristocratic, but they're also brutal as shit. And there's a lot of political intrigue there and things like that. He did a decent job with that one, and that's one of the most interesting takes that wasn't.
I like
on.
Yeah, it's the most interesting like vampire story.
I had a nightmare that kind of. Yeah, I had a nightmare where I'm on the moon doing moon shit. I don't know what I say by moon shit because all I know is like. I'm fascinated but terrified of space. So being on the moon would scare the living shit out of me, being surrounded by cold darkness. But so it was a nightmare, right? Whatever I'm doing, I'm trying to get away from something, but I'm on the moon in a spacesuit, and I'm running away from something. I turn around and there's a fucking vampire on the fucking moon. So I wake up from my damn dream and I'm like, what the hell is that? How is the fuck? Vampires can't be on the moon. That's bull, So I'm like, after I started I wasn't scared anymore. It's stupid I was, but I had a bad dream. Anyway, I said, the creative part told me, how could they get there? I'm like, oh shit. Now I'm screwed because now I'm going to have to try to figure out to write a reasonable explanation to how the hell vampires are on the moon because I have a story now. Fuck.
Wait, are these sunlight sensitive vampires? Or
I can't tell you nothing like that because I don't want to give it away. But I know
solar radiation on
the
moon.
I get that. I know. I've been through this with myself.
I mean, there is the dark side of the moon.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That is the dark side. Oh,
There's like a real easy answer to
but
that one.
I even know. See,
Yeah,
I even
but,
I even figured out a way behind that, and I'm scared to say it, but I want to say it because I think it's neat. Because
all right,
you
so
think,
I need to see this vampires on the moon fucking thing that you're
but
doing. Like,
the
toot fucking
story
sweet.
is kind of told. It's a 3-act narrative, so like it's not each story is going to have its own three.
Sunblock.
It's three. It's a lot of sunblock.
Sorry.
So
Fucking
it's
ultimate
good.
banana.
It's going to be told. Like I've got most of it plotted out, but the thick of it isn't there. But going back to trying to tell a different vampire story, I don't really think I can do anything that's radically not been told in some shape or form. So I kind of want to go back to a biblical explanation to some degree. But there's also like a twist that I've always been kind of wondering in my head because I don't know if this is me sick, but I always think, and bear with me, what if when Lucifer and his angels had the revolution against God, what if he won?
Whoa,
And
weird.
I'm like, I've always wanted to know because I'm always fascinated with like alternate timeline shit. I'm a sucker for it, even if it's bad. I'm a Star Trek fan, so when they went to the Terran universe all the time, I'm like, yeah, alternate timeline, people are different. It's cool. Things didn't happen. Like, what if this thing stopped this from happening and we went down this road? Those things fascinate me. So I'm thinking to myself, how can we get the Earth population like how humans have populated the Earth, but have it be reversed as vampires instead? Well, Adam and Eve didn't exist. Adam and Eve had to be vampires because during that holy war, Lucifer won. God just dipped. He dipped right in the middle of the battle, like home and shit, and like
Man, it almost
the
sounds
angels.
like you're like picking up in the middle of like Paradise Lost or something like that.
Yeah, I know I'm teetering on a lot of shit, and it's scaring the crap out of me. I'm trying not to. But like I just thought, and now Lucifer, now like the human, because Lucifer resents God, man. It's because the goddamn human. He wants to he wants to get back at God, and he gets back at him by creating like these, taking over the humans and creating his own. It said, how humans are in God's likeness. Well, these vampire-ish things, and I don't use the word vampire, nocturnals, these creatures are vampire-like, are in his image. So, like, there's a fight on ancient Earth, you know what I mean? Of like kind of going back to like maybe put it into Zack Snyder, that biblical war where what's his name? Xerxes comes down, or before he's Apocalypse or Dark Side. Sorry, but that whole war. So there's a clash there, and the humans lose, and so the Earth becomes dominated by these guys. Well, because the absence of who they are, and over time, the reason why these vampire creatures were so powerful was because they drank human blood. The human blood was endowed with the spirit of God, and that spirit of God mixed with Lucifer and how they were created is what actually gave these vampires their supernatural powers. And over time, they lost it. They lost their supernatural powers, so they were no longer super strong. They were no longer had any immunities. They're basically like humans. They could get diseases and all kinds of stuff, and sunlight didn't bother them anymore. Boom, they're on the moon. So now they're a spacefaring species, the planetary species, where you pick up at the end of the movie, where the humans revolt and take back the planet. God shows back up. Wah. And there's a big ass fight on the moon with vampires and humans.
So were drugs involved in all of this, or like, is this just you sober?
I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I occasionally do the Mary Jane, but no,
That's
I don't.
Drug.
Well, no, it's not. I'm a California kid. You cannot convince me that it's a drug.
Oh shit.
Good luck with that. I'm not, but I'm not liberal. Trust me, I'm not liberal.
No, you're good,
but I did grow up in a place where, like, dude, I've seen people on some worse shit. But it wasn't necessarily involved in it. I do have like this rule, because sometimes I do break and I drink some wine. Well, you can drink, you write drunk, edit sober. So like all the finished ideas I've told you all polished after I've sobered up a bit. But that's the nuts and bolts of it.
Absolutely slammed, and then go back the next day to see what you did. And you're like, oh my God, I need
It's
to
almost
clean
like
this
the
up.
same thing. It's like it's easier to ask for forgiveness than it is for permission. Well, drink a couple. You got a story and you can't get out. Drink a couple glasses of wine. Get the fucker out of you and go edit it. If it's worth a shit, it'll be there. If it's not, at least you had fun drinking.
Oh man.
But yeah, there's my vampire story.
I don't know how to follow that up.
Is it bad?
Fucking no.
No,
it's just like you're just like, no, dude. I fucking love listening to people who are just like, dude, you got to hear this batshit idea that I have. It's fucking crazy. I'm gonna pull it off and I'm gonna put it together and it's gonna be awesome.
I do the opposite of what I normally do when I'm creating stories. Is I got a lot of cool, like I Zack Snyder the shit out of this. Like I got cool ideas. I don't know how I'm gonna interconnect them. Some of them may be cool, some of them may be stupid, but I gotta get the vampires to the moon. You don't understand? Like I have to. Like this, how I get there. I'm trying to make it as cool and interesting as possible, but ultimately, like I see this, and I was heavily inspired by the film Ad Astra. I don't know if you've ever heard of it or seen it. It's got Brad Pitt in it. Never seen it. There's a scene where they're rushing to this rocket, right? They're on their moon buggies, and these moon pirates are trying to get them, and they're firing these plasma weapons, and it's all in slow motion. You can't hear shit. It's deafeningly quiet, right? All you hear is breathing, and people are getting shot, and pieces are flying in the air, and it's on the moon. It's so fucking cool little scene. I'm like, I want to do that, but like Braveheart the shit out of it. We're War and Peace, where they're all coming together at one big collage in the middle of this hailstorm on the moon. It's like, you're crazy, Chris, but you do dark shit stories that have like personal meanings. But I do have a side to me that's bombastic and kind of likes to see things like that. I come from a very like theatrical background when it comes to
that's freaking cool.
Figuring my stories out. Like, I don't know, like, how am I going to turn that into a story? God only knows. And I'm never going to be able to make the movie on my own without a budget the size of Mount Rushmore. So, but that's kind of how my creative process works, though.
I'm excited to see what you're able to do with everything that you have, and getting into the creative process again after taking a break from it for years. So
yeah, it's been a bumpy road, but
Richard, you good on time, or you got some more questions before you bail out, or?
No, I can kind of feel myself feel the brain powering down here. Just due to my usual schedule of things. I was just going to tell you there is a anthology that some of your I was listening to your vampire concept, and there's a anthology, I believe it's Shoot the Devil 2. I don't know what the suffix is on it, but there's a bunch of Iron Age authors and whatnot that have gotten together, and one of them, one of the anthologies is Shoot the Devil, and there are some ideas in that I think are would be really fun. And if you enjoy that, those would be some cool stories to read and maybe get some inspiration from as well. But
yeah, definitely.
Aside from that, I don't have anything intelligent to say. Not necessarily that's unusual, but yeah. So with that, I think I'm gonna depart before I say anything, and you guys get to roast me for some kind of innuendo that I've accidentally created. So
I don't think you created one tonight.
No, I haven't heard one yet.
You're pretty good yet. Some nights.
Although Richard is short for dick.
Yeah, I've never.
Our dick is short for Richard. Sorry.
For the first time.
Oh man. I'm stretching. I know. I stretched so far for that fucker. It's funny though. My best friend's dad's name was Richard, and he was really, one of those cool dads that was actually cool and not cool just because he wanted to do dangerous shit. But he was just like a funny guy and appreciated a joke. And one day I walk up to him and I say, "Hey, Richard, I didn't know you were a dick." And he looked at me like he was gonna punch me, but then he starts laughing his ass off. Like the balls on you, kid, is what he said. Right.
What about died right there?
Oh,
Right,
man, you know,
it's
I haven't
like-
even thought about that, but
That's great.
one of these days, my kids' friends one of them's going to be dumb enough to
Step to you.
to say something like that, and I'm going to have to like play real serious and
Dude, it's
and
so fucking hard.
and make them feel terrible just for my own amusement more than anything else.
You're leaving on that? I've got a fucking oh my god, it happened a few weeks ago.
No, tell me a story.
Okay.
I'm curious.
I have no idea what the fuck. I just like I'm laying down in bed. It's later
Wait,
at night.
hold on. Whoa,
it's
Royce,
not bad.
Royce,
It's not
Royce.
bad.
This is
It's
about the
not
name
bad.
Richard,
It's
not
not
about
bad.
the.
It's not bad. No, it's about
I
keeping
gotta go.
serious while you have to yell at your kids. My dad calls me on the phone. I'm like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, well, this is weird. Like, why is he calling me like this late at night? Like, what's going on?
I'd be scared if my dad
And
called me
he's
that
like,
late.
and he calls me on the phone. He's like, hey, I need you to use your dad voice. I'm like, all right, who am I yelling at? Dude, it was so hard to keep my. He goes, just go downstairs, and he's like, he's like, get after one of your kids, and he's like, just say, what did you just say to Papa? I'm like, why? He's like, just do it. And I'm like, oh, you fucking. And here's the problem. This is the same shit he did to me 15 years ago. I know exactly what the fuck's going on. I don't know what was said, and at this point, so I'm like, all right. So
Bad enough for your dad to tattletale on his damn grandson.
No. He just
to
wanted
not handle business right then
dude,
and
no,
there.
it was his granddaughter. He just wanted.
Okay.
He
That's
just wanted me
different.
to fuck with the kids because that's supposed to
okay.
fuck with me.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I don't know why I'm yelling at my kid, but I know I hear my dad giggling like a schoolgirl on the other end of the fucking phone, and I have to be completely serious the entire time. So I go downstairs. I'm like, hey, what did you say to your grandfather? And they're just like, and like, dude, and I'm just sitting there trying not to crack up, and I'm trying, and he's giggling like a schoolgirl. And they're like, what? No, I was just on the phone because my cousin, my parents adopted my niece. It's a long story there, and so they were talking with their cousin, and I don't even know. And they're like, and my daughter starts to freak out, and I was like, fuck, I can't keep it. I just started losing. I was like, you're not in trouble, sweetheart. Dad, what was that? I was like, blame your grandfather. He told me to do it, and he just started losing his shit. And my wife
You're gonna give your kids trauma.
dude, my dad, I will.
They're gonna wake up and be. They're gonna wake up. They're gonna grow up and be gun
dude,
shy.
no.
Shit.
Oh, dude, no. I grew up with that twisted sense of humor. It was,
Okay. Talking about messing with your parents, my wife sent me a message and was like, tell your Hitler story. And
okay.
Royce and the stream will enjoy this one. So, Chad, here's a special bit of family lore. We were at some family get together, right? And down in Dallas, and there was a couple there. You know, they were a couple years older than my. I don't know if we were married. I don't think we were married at the time, but my now wife and I, and a good buddy of mine had also tagged along down there, and it was a party with some of the family and then their coworkers and everything else. And these people like worked with one of my family members and were there, and for whatever reason, like they were kind of the I don't know. They just clearly were not very happy to be there. They were not.
oh no.
You know, they were kind of rude, not terribly, but a little bit. You know, and
Just
my mom was like, in the car on the way back, she was like, "Man, I didn't like, doing that," and I was like, "Yeah, I was like, what I couldn't get over is when she said Hitler did nothing wrong." And I was like, I just can't believe that. My mom's head from the front passenger seat whips around, and it's like, she said what? And we all just burst up laughing.
Your poor mom
just
just broke her
deadpanned it
neck.
so hard. I slandered this poor
Yeah.
woman just to heckle my mom.
Oh, I love it. Oh, so good.
She swallowed that thing hook, line, and sinker.
That's great. Yeah, I love it when they fall right
hilarious.
into them. When they, and then when you get lucky and you could hold it. When you could hold the straight face, man. When you
I don't
could
know if
play
I
it,
wanted to hold
sell it.
that particular joke any longer than I did,
That
but
was
you know.
No, but yeah, but if you could sell it, like,
Oh man, that's so good. Oh, it's a classic too.
Yeah.
Like it's such a great one-liner.
dude, easy. This is nothing. Dude, that gets anybody going. Well, you know what?
Hey,
It's
what?
funny.
Uh,
No, nowadays you might get a bunch of teenagers to like give you a high five.
yeah,
Right.
maybe. I don't know.
That's
Right,
crazy.
yeah,
If someone told me if Doc Brown ran into my high school and he said, "Chris, when you grow up," I'm like, "What, Doc? I become an asshole?" He's like, "No, they're gonna hate the Jews again." I'm like, "What? No way! No way! No way!" I'm like, "Doc, that's heavy." And he goes,
that's a
"There's the
storyline
fucking
they
word
totally
again."
skipped over in Back to the Future.
Oh my gosh. Never
Richard's
mind.
just
You
like,
know what?
shit.
It is time for me to go to bed. I've told my story. I've told my anecdote. I'll tell old Silent D down there farewell, and everybody else. I had a good one. I'll see you guys on Sunday night.
Have a good one. Nice to meet you,
Nice
man.
talking to you, man. I really enjoyed
Nice
it,
talking.
and I look
Me
forward
too.
to see what you crank out in the
Thank
future,
you.
man. Make sure you hit me
Appreciate
up.
it. Will do.
Oh man.
Thank you.
All right. Night, guys.
Good
night.
night, man. Daniel, have you tried just unplugging all of your microphone and just running off of your computer mic and speakers? Have you tried plugging your headphones into your computer and then just running off of the microphone from the just no. It's wow.
Did it completely die?
Uh
It broke.
oh, it's okay. I'm sorry. He can mind that. I got a couple of super chats to read up here, guys. Let me go check the direct donation link. Oh, actually, you guys have sent in a couple of things. Awesome. Thank you so much. I did read that one from Crimson Law. This one from Maji Chan. Says, thanks for the show, guys. I needed a laugh. Dude, this has been a really good show. I love shows like this where you just get to talk and reminisce for a little bit. Mario Trujillo, for $2 over on the Green website, over on Rumble, says, also unions are for commies. Also congrats to Jason Matthews and Royce. The trolling will continue. Yeah, I'm aware of who my chat is. And then for another $2, Mario Trujillo says, also F old people and their fucking coupons. They were expired half the time anyway. Dude, they
were. Dude.
And we still had to accept them. The manager would not let
the
you
manager would not let you not. No, they wouldn't. I became a manager, and I'm like, listen, do we have to? Like, and mine was a franchise owned by a nice dude. He was cool, dude. His name's Tariq.
Yeah,
he was like a Middle East.
Too. He had
He's a Middle Eastern dude.
Yeah, mine was like a Greek dude.
He was like, it doesn't matter. We accept them. I don't care. Dude, I'm like, all right, but Tariq, this is ridiculous, bro. I'm like, what do you want me to do?
Dude, goes, this coupon's from 5 years ago. We don't even have the thing on the menu that the coupon's for. And they're like, just give it to him. I'm like, what? Oh my God. I hated senior. I think ours was senior Tuesdays. Ours was Tuesdays.
Can I just say one thing? Every once in a while, you get that one little old lady couple, old man, that were just like the sweetest fucking people.
Oh, dude. Oh, yeah.
It didn't happen all the time, but there were. I don't know about you, but my place had one, and they didn't always come. And when they didn't come, like the shining star of my shitty damn shift, when they didn't show up, man, I always felt like just pit in my stomach. Like, oh man, did they pass?
Oh, dude, no, I absolutely had people like that.
But they were upset when I told them I had to move on. I was like, I can't work at IHOP anymore, man. They're like, oh, we're gonna miss you. I'm like, I'm gonna miss my 50.
Oh, dude, I hated saying
fuck off.
That's one thing is like you get your regulars,
but they were really
like,
sweet.
No, we're sitting in that guy's shift because we like him.
Yeah,
like in his section, like, and then you have to tell your regulars that it's like your that kind of sucked because you get this personal relationship going on. Like, dude, fuck. Oh, so
part of me
many
didn't want to tell him,
flowers.
but
No.
you kind of like, I'm the kind of guy who's like, I was general manager at McDonald's. Like, I don't take my job serious, but when I'm there, I try to do a good job. I mean, I gotta be here. I might as well try to have fun. And when it wasn't the only place I served. It was the worst place I served, but it wasn't the only place. But I got a great education. Like these diner chicks who run the morning shifts, during the weekends that are busy.
Oh yeah.
They can teach you how to fucking hold plates like a fucking like circus animal, and they can teach you how to bang out. Right. Me too. I serve my family like that, and it amazes my 6-year-old all the time. She's like, "How do you do that?" I'm like, I had a really old diner bitch scream at me for weeks. That's how I know how to do this, and that's why I'm not complaining about how hot the fucking plate is.
Dude, worst place I ever, like, I went from, before I got into, like, the oil field and construction, last place I served food, I worked for a hotel down in Denver, Colorado.
Horrible.
And, dude, you want to talk about people being pissy? When people are paying, like, $200 a night for a fucking room, they think that they are the rules. Oh, my God. Dude,
you work for me, asshole.
Dude, she ate the whole plate of chicken wings. And then calls and was like, the chicken wasn't cooked, and like, you need to come and pick this up right now. And we look at it and we're like, she's like, I want a refund.
The chicken wasn't cooked.
We had our manager come in there. And
you're in big trouble. You ate all of that
salmonella. Like, if it wasn't cooked, then why did you eat the chicken wings? It's like, ma'am, like, it, like, you should probably, like, if you knew the chicken wasn't cooked, you should probably go to the doctor. Like, our manager was like, no, I'm not giving you a fucking refund. Like, you ate the food. You ate like, there was bone. Yep. There wasn't even chicken on the chicken wing.
I've had to have colleagues pull me away from a table before.
Oh, dude.
Because I lost my shit on a grand opening. Some asshole had the audacity to ask me if I was busy. And I was fucking swamped. And he was like it was a 4-top, right? 2 boys, 2 girls. They're couples, you could tell. And like, I didn't greet 30s, and I'm in my 20s.
Oh, shit.
I get to the table, and I'm like, I'm sorry, a little swamped. Do you guys know what you want? And I wasn't like my cheery ass fucking, welcome to Chili's. I wasn't, but it just wasn't Chili's. But I didn't have that in me. I was pissed and swamped.
Oh, no.
Grand opening. And they're like, the guy's like, what are you, busy or something? And everyone started laughing at the table, making a joke about obviously it was packed. Are you busy or something? I'm like, I took a deep breath. I remember this to the day, and I lunged. And I'm like, listen, motherfucker. And then my friend who was serving the table behind me grabs the back of my shirt, and he's pulling me. My manager comes out the side, and he's pulling my apron. And I'm like, no, this fucker's got jokes. And he was like, of course I'm busy. Look around, you motherfucker. And when I'm leaving, I hear my station clapping. And my manager throws me in my room. It's like a movie, man, I swear. He throws me in my... He goes, cool off, He sits me in the chair and goes, what is wrong with... Because I'm not that dude. I am not that dude. But I lost it.
Oh, fuck, I hated people.
I was like, he embarrassed me. He's like, is this your job too? You can't be a manager? What's this, too much for you? You can't hold the shit down? I'm like, no, the guy embarrassed me. I lost my cool. It's that simple. Like, the pressure didn't bother me, but I was not in the mood for him to be Mr. Chuckle Pants.
My favorite thing was always, I was like, sweet, I'm getting off in like an hour. Like, the restaurant's quiet. And I'd be like, one of the places I worked at was a
Eye of the Hurricane.
Dude, and they're like, oh, dude, yeah, the Eye of the Hurricane. And they're like, hey, Royce, we're going to need you to stay a little while. I'm like, why? They're like, well, because I was closing down my section. And they're like, well, your section was the only section. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, 32 top just rolled in. I was like, oh, fucking what?
That's 32 top.
I'm like, are you like, no, like, I'm
Are we
out of here.
And split this table? Like, oh, dude.
I'm like, a 32 top? Man. Are you like...
I could write a book about serving fucking tables, bro.
Fuck off, dude. And I was like, they're like, we're going to help you out. I was like, you're damn fucking right.
I love that. That's the first thing that comes out of these people's mouths. We're going to help you out, though. Don't worry if you need help, because I'll give you help for it. I'm like, you know what, motherfuckers? I'll do this myself. I don't need your help. I go to that table, and I'm like, listen, I'm doing this
Dude.
counterclockwise, which means you, sir, are on the clock. And
Yeah.
you better know what you want when I get back with your damn drink. Am I
Oh, dude.
clear? It's like, I'm
Dude,
in control.
I
You're in
would,
my. There's too
like,
many
what
of
I
you.
would do,
You outnumber me.
I would go down the line and I would tell people, like, here's the deal, guys. I can only carry out so much drink and so much food, so I'm going to try to get this all so it's staggered, so we're just going to, like, dude, I mean, don't get me wrong, like, we pulled it off, and I definitely had some help carrying shit out, but, like, the orders and stuff, it was all on, I was like, fuck off, dude.
You gotta have a system, though, man. I got really good at that shit. After a while, I'm like, bring them to me. We got 16 top coming in. So bring it to me, dude. Counterclockwise. I put everything in counterclockwise, so when it comes out, it's boom, 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 left, right, left, right, left, right. And I give this big spiel.
Dude,
I'm like, if you're ordering from the dinner menu, I'm going to ask you how do you want your steak cooked.
You know,
I'm not going to say this 1,000 fucking times, bitch. It comes with a salad. What kind of dressing? I'm going to say it once. So when I get to you, you just say, I want a porterhouse, medium, ranch.
One of the worst ones, dude, is that, like,
some of them really got it, though. Some of them, like, appreciated my efficiency.
Dude, one of the worst ones was I ended up with, like, a 12 top. And it was, like, one of the ladies there, she had kids. Well, she was, like, the partial owner. She didn't order a fucking thing on the menu. She was like, I know what you got in the kitchen, and she special ordered fucking scrambled eggs. Well, we're a fucking Mexican restaurant, dude. She special ordered all this kind of food because she knew, and I was like, I don't even know how to enter. And I was like, whatever, it's the fucking owner's kid.
How do I do that? That's fucked up. That's cool.
Yeah. And she was cool about it, but that shit just pissed me off. I don't fucking, God, dude, you're writing me so much shit right now. Hey, hi, chat. How are you doing?
It's weird that, like, I want to own a restaurant someday.
I don't want to own a restaurant someday. Although we made some baller.
I've had a lot of good times though as a server. I bitch a lot, but like the time I put marijuana in the like we're working the night shift and we decided to make some chocolate chip pancakes with weed in them.
Oh shit.
We got faded and tried to serve tables, and all of a sudden this bus showed up of like little leaguers at like 8:30, and it's me, a server, a busboy, and one cook, and we're stoned.
Dude, how?
And we're trying to stand there and fucking take orders. The whole damn thing was in slow motion.
Dude, how
we got so much trouble. They told on us.
You ever see the movie Waiting? How fucking true is that movie? Oh,
I was serving tables at the time, and we all went as a restaurant to go see that movie together.
Daniel gets it.
And we all pointed at each other, telling you're that guy. No, you're this guy. No, that's you. That's you. That's you. That's you. And like, you know what's fucking funny? Every one of those people represented, I worked with somebody like that.
Oh yeah.
Close to it, maybe not exactly, but every fucking. The manager, you know, who's like trying to teach you. I was the guy, you know, the main guy. Where it's like, hey, you should become a manager, and I'm like, no, my friends are gonna hate me. This is bullshit. Yeah. And they're like, I was like, this is so weird. I'm seeing this movie when they're trying to. It was it's a great movie, man. It's fucking fun.
It's such a fucking good movie, man. Oh god, it's so fucking good. Fuck, man. We keep
bitching.
We'll keep
bitching about the customers while we're making your food.
Fucking, I hate the fucking. I just, dude.
And then getting to your table and then being like completely different. Like, oh yeah, hey, yeah, that's good. I like it. Yeah. And then going back and going, you motherfucker, goddamn dessert. Of course you want dessert, you fat fuck. Fuckity fuck. I gotta make a dessert now. Like, you want to piss a server off? Tell him you want dessert. Tell him you want dessert.
Oh, dude, I fucking.
It'll piss your server right off.
No. You know the one that pissed me off the most? The one that I fucking hated the most? Packed fucking restaurant, people there, line out the door, and they're just like, oh, do you mind if we just sit here and we'll just have like one more drink? And I'm like, and you go, no, that's of course, no, take your time. And in the back of your mind, you're like, get the fuck out of my section so I can fucking turn this table. Come on.
Right, I can't turn this table. The manager's like, you can't turn the table.
And then they leave you like $2 fucking. They soak up 2 hours of your fucking table time, and then they leave you $2 for a tip, and you're like,
right. Did you ever get the fucking car salesman people trying to give you their number to come work for them? I had so many sales people give me their goddamn business cards, dude. It was unbelievable.
The one time that I got it, it was the general manager for the hotel that I ended up working at.
Oh shit! I never transferred because I knew I couldn't sell shit.
No, she
I
was
knew I
the
couldn't.
top like the funny thing was I had impressed her so much in myself, which was funny enough is like there was another table that apparently wasn't impressed with me that night, but she was just like here's my number, give me a call. And I was like, hi. I was like, yeah, you told me to give you a call. She's like, yeah. She goes, I'm the manager, like the top manager of this. I mean, it was oh God, how many floors did we have? I think we had 15 or 16 floors in this hotel. Like, it was a fucking big hotel, like a big hotel in Denver. And she's like, yeah, I'm the general manager here. She's like, you really impressed me. I'd like you to come in and do some interview. Here's the funny part. I didn't interview with her. And everybody in the fucking whole place is like, wait, you didn't interview with her?
I got my first teaching job.
And I'm like,
no,
no,
I didn't interview either.
She's the one who recommended me for the job. And they're like, how the fuck? They're like, she doesn't recommend anybody for the job. And I was like, fucking cool. So I was already kind of like, yeah. But no, yeah, that was, oh fuck. Okay.
That's how I got my first paraeducator job. I was filming my first short film in somebody's house, and it was a friend of a friend. And in between takes, I take breaks away from my cast and crew, kind of let them have a minute away from me and shit. And in between then, I'm sword fighting and playing Legos and stuff with her kids. And she asked me, like, hey, you have a background with kids? Is like, you seem to be, really. I was like, well, I was going to be a teacher, but I dropped out, moved to LA, and became what you see now. A manager at McDonald's shooting a movie in your house. she's like, I may have a job for you if you want to get back into education. And I'm like, it pays more than your McDonald's.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. And the next week before I knew I was there, my first day on the job, and everyone's like, how'd you get this job? Because everybody's like cousin or child was trying to, like, old teachers were trying to get their kids to get this job for experience, but I got it, and they were like, how'd you get this job? I'm like, oh no, she saw me on a movie set and she hired me. And they're looking at me like I got 8 heads, and they're like, what the fuck, dude, what are you qualified to do? I'm like, well, I'm qualified to learn. There you go.
I'll tell you what I'm qualified to do. I'm qualified to be here, motherfucker.
And I fell in love with it, which was great. Like, it changed everything. But yeah, that's how I got my first job, though. It was kind of a little bit of nepotism, I guess you'd say, so to speak, but not
not quite nepotism.
The blood kind, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Chris,
yes,
tell
sir.
us what you do, where we can find you, and how we can keep up with your future endeavors.
You can follow me on Twitter, where I'll have updates on my latest project. I'm working on the short film for the current book right now. I'm just kind of selling my book, one person at a time, one day at a time. I'm meeting some really cool people along the way doing that as well. But I am Chris R. Hicks 1138 on Twitter. You can also go on YouTube and type in Chris R. Hicks, and you can find my YouTube channel. I've started doing my own little show. It's nothing special, but a lot of people, are starting to build their own audiences, and I know that people are doing a lot of different shows, and I just kind of want to do a different format, kind of go back to old school talk radio, one-on-one, a guy with topics, giving his opinions, giving you some news, giving you some insight, and just my personality. So yeah, I'm doing that over there. It's called No Filter with Chris Hicks, where I just kind of lay it out without any BS, no drama, no games, just opinions on creative stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Awesome. Well, because I know that the microphone is out. Oh, really quickly, Mario Trujillo for another $2, dude. Thank you so much for going over to Rumble.
This guy's been awesome.
It's been great. Did you guys ever see a counterfeiter ring pop up? God, the amount. Don't worry, I made this morning. I had to hear. Wait, what? Did you guys ever see a counterfeiting ring pop up? No. God, the amount.
Like a counterfeiting ring, like a ring of people making counterfeit? Counterfeit what?
Don't worry, I made it this morning. I had to hear. No.
Oh, I think he's saying like he can keep giving you money because he's made a counterfeiting ring, and
I don't know.
He's washing his cash.
No, Mario Trujillo, you gotta clarify that one. I don't think he's saying that. There was actually some people staying in the hotel that I was in. Anyway, yeah, they were actually printing funny money. They were going out and they were spending like, because nobody at the time checked like $20 bills because it wasn't big enough. So they weren't checking them. So people were spending what looked like real like $20 bills and getting change back and just handing out fake money and getting real money back. And I was like, oh, by the way, because his microphone's a little messed up, I will do it for him. Daniel P. Riley is getting ready to release and work on G Sedai 2. Stay updated with him over on the Twix as well as whimsyland.org. And whimsyland.org is also where you can go for his writing and coaching services, as well as he does some editing work over there. You guys absolutely got to go check him out. I know some people that are going through the boot camp with him right now
that's
get
cool.
the stories out. Oh yeah, no, he works with he basically works with everybody that you've probably seen on Twitter.
Dave is like it sucks that he's not on the mic, but like Dave's a great guy. I just did a little creator showcase on my show with him, and I butchered. I'm so sorry, Dave, but I tried the Japanese phrases, and I think I fucked it up.
Yeah, David.
I'm so sorry, and I apologize like 8 times in the video. But Dave's cool, man. He's one of the good guys. I think he's talented. He cares about others. He's funny. And I think he just got a great creative mindset. Like when people ask me who the good guys are, he's definitely up there.
Well, go check out whimsyland.org again, so that way you guys can go and get that creative story out of your head. And then stay here on this channel or my other channel, my main channel, Drink with Crazy, instead of ADWC Replay, where I should be releasing a video about The Incredibles 2, because I saw some people pissing me off about that movie. And yeah, I'm going to correct the mouth breathers on the internet. So that's going to be a fun one, working on that script tomorrow. I also have hopefully Star Shatter tomorrow, which is our tabletop RPG. And as always, guys, you'll see me here on Sunday for Sunday Coffee, where I will be reading your comments that you guys leave on my videos and my live streams between this channel and the main channel. So, because that's one of the ways that I get to spend with my audience is go and I read your comments, and that's at 11 a.m. Central every single Sunday. And ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you so much for being here and tuning in to Iron Age Nights.
Thank you for having me.
Oh yeah, dude, of course. Oh, I'm so sad. Daniel's microphone is not working. It's not. Daniel.
See you, Daniel.
You look so sad. Did your computer break, or did the Scarlet? Wait, he can't say anything to me anyway. Oh, the second one? No.
Oh, yeah, he asked me questions and he can't answer you.
He's just miming me. He's really fucking good at miming, though. Like
add that to the list of skills.
Bro's got skills, man.
Hey, thank you so much, though. I really do appreciate it. I'm gonna jet out of here. My wife just got home, so.
Oh yeah, dude. No, take it easy, man.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Have a good night, Chris. It was
You
great
too,
to see
sir.
you.
Have a good weekend.
All right. Yeah, you too.
Take care.
Ladies. All right. Yeah, I see Herman. Good night, Herman. Good night, Seabats. Good night, Ebony Music. Mrs. R.H. Snow. Hot video. Wait, no. Damn it, Daniel. You're not allowed to type in the chat. No, that's weird. That core thing is weird. Very still weird. Good night, my G-Jam. Thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate it. Hopefully my tired wasn't too tired this week. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, thank you all so much for being here. And until next time, cheers, everybody.